Well, hey there, folks. I'm back in my room again. Oh, yeah, feels smaller, hotter environment. Almost like I just want to rip. Music for a child's heart, body, and mind. Wishy-washy washerwoman from way down in the valley where nobody goes. There's a wishy-washy washerwoman washing her clothes. She goes, ah, she goes, ah, she goes, ah, washerwoman. Subscribe? I'm sorry, that was not supposed to happen. But you know what? That's actually a fantastic segue into what I wanted to talk about in this vlog, which is embarrassment. God knows I do plenty of that to myself on a daily basis. Only half of it do I actually catch on film. What is embarrassment? Embarrassment is different. It's felt different for everybody, is it not? I mean, not everybody feels the same kind of embarrassment for the same situations. I know for one that I can get up in front of a group of people and just kind of ramble or talk about whatever and make it sound like I know what I'm doing, when maybe inside I'm freaking out a little bit or nervous. None of that ever shows because I've trained myself to push those things away or maybe use that as energy to fuel my actions. That's how I get around that. But somebody else might come up and just completely freeze, and everything they say, they're just suddenly embarrassed and self-conscious and terrified. Those are all lots of examples, and I could give tons more. I'm sure you have something specific that you know you do when you become embarrassed. What is it about embarrassment? Is embarrassment necessary? Do we need it? Why is it something that we feel, that we go through? That's one of the questions I'm going to pose, and I don't know if we're going to answer it by the end of this, but we're certainly going to try. Well, embarrassment certainly lets you know that there's something that you're doing or something that's being done that makes you feel uncomfortable in some fashion. And oftentimes, embarrassment is contrary to what we actually want to happen. For example, there may be something you really do want to say to somebody or tell somebody, but you're far too embarrassed to do it. And it's that embarrassment that causes the anxiousness or the apprehension, and it becomes a cage or a wall or a barrier. It is an obstacle that is preventing you from accomplishing what you set out to do. So in those cases, it's absolutely important to be able to work through that embarrassment, and everybody has their process of how they get through that. Some people don't. Some people don't try. And then there are those who do, and it takes time. I've never seen anybody cure themselves of stage fright overnight. Sometimes certain things, certain fears are so ingrained in us that it's nigh impossible to make them go away, even with a lot of work over time. But I'm no professional in that department in how to deal with those things, so I wouldn't be able to tell you what steps are available or what things you could try and do, other than just the things that I know from personal experience on how to get some things just go away. But I don't want to break off now into fears, because I do think that there is a strong difference between fear and embarrassment. Because often we have a fear of embarrassment. So what is it then, at its core, to feel embarrassed or to have embarrassment or to be embarrassed? The way we describe it, it honestly sounds like we're embodying embarrassment, but what does that mean? I think it goes hand in hand with maybe a fear of being judged. Maybe it's a fear of the other person's thoughts or the things that you can't know and sometimes won't ever know. And our minds will sometimes make a situation worse than it actually is, because we feel like the other person is thinking negative things about us now because of whatever it is we just did. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. And since we can't differentiate, we just have this response to become embarrassed. And being embarrassed is almost like a safety blanket, because then we can hide or have a good excuse to run or have a good excuse to avoid something, because everybody knows what embarrassment's like and knows that sometimes it can prevent you from functioning properly. And it's like a safety card. It's like, I'm embarrassed, therefore you should understand that this thing cannot continue the way it is continuing, and there must be a change. that should occur so that I can come back to myself, please. Thank you. So, embarrassment seems like a pretty darn useful thing, then, if it does function like a safety blanket. And while it may be preventing you from achieving your goals, and as it may be an obstacle, maybe we don't think of it or see it quite like an obstacle because it can be comforting, because it produces that change we desire, for things to return to the way they were when they were safe and you felt okay. So, it is a devious little bugger, isn't it, embarrassment? Because as it pushes you away, it also pulls you in. So we will find ourselves returning to embarrassment, maybe as an avoidance tactic. It could be interesting to think about. Growing shy or becoming embarrassed just because those things do perturb us, or they bother us, or they make us uncomfortable, or they make us think of things that are perhaps very deep things to think about, very important things that can scare us because it's always an unknown. It's always an unknown that we're afraid of. Asking a question in class. Raising your hand and asking a question in class. Some people don't do it. They're too embarrassed to do it because they don't want to say something stupid, or they're afraid of saying something stupid. And then the entire class erupts into uproarious laughter, and instantaneously you're in your underwear, and it's just a mess for everyone because you didn't happen to wear clean underwear that day, or maybe there's a hole somewhere and something is visible, and that is a problem for you because then you're just more embarrassed, and you can't seem to stop this vicious cycle of embarrassment. Not like I've been there before or anything. There is certainly a reason we wear clothes, and one of them is so that we don't embarrass ourselves, because, well, another thing, it's a fear of definitely being judged. Body-wise, everyone has a very, strong sense of personal body image, whether or not we are comfortable in our own skin. Some cover up more than others, certainly, and it is a social norm. So, in that case, I don't feel that embarrassment is necessarily a bad thing. Suddenly, if you were to remove embarrassment from the equation, yes, I do believe we'd probably all be a nudist colony. And well, at that point, if embarrassment had never existed in the first place, we wouldn't even know we were naked, would we? That wouldn't even be a concept. That wouldn't even be a thing because clothes wouldn't exist. We wouldn't need them. There you go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, happy Thursday. And I hope to see all of you fully clothed and not embarrassed tomorrow for the Friday video. Life is a play. The play is the thing. She goes.